Welcome to a spirit animal message. And if it's been your birthday today, happy birthday. And I'd like to start off, before I jump right into this reading, with some frequency. This is 432 hertz. Just okay. Hold my little red jasper brain I got over here. A little red. Mind is a terrible thing to waste. Oh, to mention this, because I mentioned it in the short, but I would like to mention it now also. Just when I was sitting down to start this reading, I kept getting this thought of the final countdown. It was like this song, the final countdown. So I don't know how that would resonate. And when I had started this message, it was exactly 11:11. So 11:11 could be significant. Also, there was this energy today when I was going through my day, and I noticed right after I loaded the video, there was a correlation to it also, where it was like I found, unfortunately, like the bones of a deer, and then I saw a bunch of living deer throughout the day, and then I had seen an owl, right, also, but I couldn't really tell if it was an owl because it was flying away, and it wasn't night yet, but it was just like the beginning of like where the sun was setting. And it was kind of far away from me, so I really couldn't tell if it was an owl. And I kept thinking, I think it was. And then a comment right after I posted mentioned an owl, and the person mentioned how they had seen one that had passed away, but then they had also seen one that was alive. So there was just this correlation to an experience that I had. And then also today I saw a dove. And then I had this weirdness today where I ended up cleaning the I ended up just picking up garbage on my walk. I was just taking a walk, and I just felt compelled to take care of, because I always feel like be the change you want to see in the world. And I'm not trying to like toot my horn for doing it, because I really wasn't even thinking about, sharing that part of my day. But I was just, as I was walking, it was like when you're home and you see something not quite, right, you want to organize your house. Well, it was like I was like outside, and I felt so at home outside that I started cleaning the outside, like picking up every single piece of trash that I could find, like every little thing that I could find. And so much so, it got to where it was this weird thing where I even had, once I had gone through the first time, because it was just a walk initially, I noticed there was just so much trash, and it was just like this, I have to go get the rest, basically, feeling. And I didn't have to, I got to. I felt like it was just like, I get to. And it's just like I really wanted to be outside. And sometimes just, walking a pace with nothing to do is just whatever. And then I thought, I felt so at home, and I love the outside, and I felt just that's where I wanted to do. So I got a bag, and I actually, picked up the trash from, near my house all the way, walking for quite some time. Actually, I picked up trash just all over the place. And just, I felt like, that Mother Earth is our home. We look at our homes as our home, and we want to take good care of it. And then I always think, and we always want to make it look nice for when somebody comes over, right? And it was just like, to me, it was just like, I wanted like this world to look beautiful, because, I think about how when we have visitors over, I'm visiting Earth while I'm here, and I see Mother Earth as this beautiful entity that has given us this space to exist on. And I feel like we take for granted, where we are. We have our homes, but then do we expand our consciousness to this fact that we are on a home also? Like, our house is built on our home. So we have a home within a home, and that we should take greater care of it. We should stop throwing, I would like to make a public announcement. We need to stop throwing trash out of our windows, and just being more, if anyone ever comes to see this, just be more self-aware on, and when we can, if you're going for a walk, pick up the trash. And it's not for anybody else but Mother Earth and the universe. That's all I'm going to say about that. So before I go into these cards, I actually wrote a bunch of notes about a lot of the animals that correlated to this message, and then we'll get into tarot. So our owl, we have, let me move this over here. So owl, I wrote down protection, wisdom, intuition, and the ability to see beyond the surface. Do I have it? Where it is? I usually have a little, I don't know where it is, but anyways. The owl is associated to the goddess Athena, who is known for her wisdom and strategic thinking. Guardians, the owl is a guardian of knowledge and encourages individuals to seek deeper understanding and insight. Symbol of intuition and insight. An owl's presence is a sign you're being watched over, you're being watched over, that a specific message needs to be received by you. It's a symbol of, the owl is also the symbol for transformation. And there was just like this rebirth. I feel like maybe because I kept seeing this death and rebirth, and I feel like you're leaving an old, like maybe in your life or recently, or just in the maybe distant past, you've had some challenges, or maybe that's been your norm. Maybe that's been your cycle, and you feel like you're coming out of a cycle and you're going to be starting a new beginning. And it's like the way your life has been up until now, you could feel the energy shift within you, even if you can't see necessarily the external changes at so much. You can see the changes within yourself, and it's like your reality is I feel like the message is your reality is about to change in a way that is auspicious. It's just full of all of this love, because I saw deer, and there was so many just beautiful moments where a deer just happened to come up on my path today. I saw like 3 or 4 deer on my walk today. A number of other things, but the ones that really stood out was the doves, because I saw the one, and then as I looped around the next time when I came around, I saw 2 flying together. And I never see this. Whenever I see a dove flying, I only ever see one, and I only ever see the one, and that's it. Today, I went for a walk and saw one, and then I went for another walk and I saw 2, and they really grabbed my attention. And that was why, I thought to write them down, is like, when I see something, sometimes it's just seeing something, but when I feel like a magnetism to pay closer attention, like it's like my intuition just suddenly says, like, you know, this is something, like pay attention to this. So I just watch and I observe, and I just do myself this gift to be in the present moment and just observe basically what they do. And they just flew in this very beautiful pattern where they ended up landing on top of something. So before, let's go into deer. Deer, grace, gentleness, intuition, balance between feminine and masculine. So you're having this beautiful balance between your masculine and feminine energies within your being. Protection, safety, and unconditional love. Cycle of death, or cycle of life, death, and rebirth is this symbolism for deer. And I thought to write that down simply because, you know, I found one that you could see it had been gone for some time because there was nothing left. It's like an old version of you is no longer even in existence anymore, but it's like the new you has been emerging, perhaps after some time of some rest where you got to heal yourself in a way that really helped you return to this love for yourself, this marriage within yourself, that marriage of the masculine and feminine energies. And then the dove, the deer, it also had the symbolism of the right path, or a path is about to be revealed. And I really feel like there is definitely a path, like a new path about to be revealed, because I've lived in this area for a long time. My grandfather owned the house that I'm in right now, and he had this house for quite a while, since I was a little girl. And while I was walking today, randomly I found this, like, it looked like somebody had mowed down an area, and I didn't walk through to see where it led, but it was like this path that I'd never seen before. It's like walking through some area you've known all your life, and all of a sudden there's like a new road or something. That's how defined it was. And I was just like, oh, I wonder where that leads. But it wasn't like anything I was gonna pay attention to. But what I thought of when I saw it was a path to be revealed, or a path revealing itself. And that was right after I saw the doves. And I had saw the owl just before that, and the deer. So it was just like this baby step through this whole day today, just before I do these readings daily. So, you know, practice makes perfect, and sometimes the messages get very loud. So, dove, and I apologize if I'm not looking at the camera always and doing as more to engage with you as the audience. However, so that I don't miss the insight and message, I'm doing my best for now. Just stick to the notes, and when we get into the cards a little bit more, that's when I can engage with you all a little easier. So, dove, peace, love, hope, new beginnings, represents reconciliation and forgiveness in many religious contexts. Messengers of love and gentleness. I love this story of the dove, and it was of Noah's Ark. And I have a son who his name is Noah, so this is why I really enjoyed this part of it. Is that a dove returned with an olive branch that signified hope and the promise of a fresh start. Noah had gathered all the animals to a pair of each animal as this flood happened. And, the olive branch that the dove brought was this sign from the divine that, Noah was about to land in his new world. So a dove return, okay. And this could be, and like I say, and you think about what his life was going, what he had been going through. I mean, he had been stuck at sea, at like eternal sea, with nowhere, no land, nowhere to know when land was going to appear, right? So it's like, maybe that's how you felt. Like maybe you felt like out to sea, and this, like, where you're just not home. You don't feel home wherever you've been in your reality. You didn't feel home, and now suddenly you feel home, and then maybe the home is within you, and now the universe is gonna bring you to places that you feel authentically home, and it won't be the water. It's a little intense energy. Excuse me. Just a beautiful story. Dove, symbol of the divine. I wrote that. So another thing, that there was this very specific message about seeing 2 doves, and it was odd because I had seen 2, and then while doing the research, there was you know, a spiritual representation of when you see 2. So 2 doves represents love, fidelity, and peace between 2 individuals. Greek mythology associating dove with Aphrodite. Trusting your inner compass. It was so beautiful. I apologize if I look like I was about to cry. If the day ends in Y, then the chances are that'll happen for me sometimes. I feel. I do my best. I live in joy and love and all those things, but moving on. So now we're going into the actual cards. 17 minutes in. If anyone who managed to stay this long, you guys are awesome. But this message I bring together for those that are meant to hear it, and those that are meant to hear it from beginning to end will stay, because those are the ones that are going to be meant to hear it. And if you leave, you're not meant to hear it. And if you leave, then you miss. If you were meant to hear it, you missed the message, and that's unfortunate. But the universe will try again, I'm sure. However, let's continue. Lion, higher calling. You have within you all the courage you need. Let go of the past and reclaim your majesty. You will find success and contentment with those by your side. Make noble choices for your life and your tribe. And one thing I'd like to just mention before I go any further is I'm planning to do at least maybe just 2 major videos a day moving forward. And I don't know if any of my subscribers are watching this. However, I'd like to thank all of my subscribers for subscribing. I am blown away that I'm just now getting over 100, and it is just, for me, I know it may not be a lot, but this journey means a lot to me. So every single person that subscribes, just know that you guys are the ones that are encouraging me to continue, and you are filling my life with joy. So this is an energetic exchange. I'm doing something because it brings me joy and it helps me in various ways. And if it adds value to your existence enough so where you would like to know more or further get insight from me, and you're following me, know that there's this mutual love and appreciation and gratitude. So moving on, we have, and I didn't even write anything down for dog, but when I was about to do this message, I asked the universe, I was like, should I put like an animal, because I have all these little figures always, and I got this thought of a dog, a dog, and I was like, what should I put down for a dog? And I found this, and it was just this beautiful dog, and I just wanted to pointed out because I really didn't write anything down for dog, and that could be a symbol of loyalty. So higher calling, confidence, bravery. Let me put this closer. And my bird nibbles on my card, and she's a cockatiel, which is a symbol for spiritual liberation. I actually just recently found that out. Majesty, business, pride, patience, enthusiasm, rising sun, passion, and stealth, patience, strength, courage, power, and reality, and royalty. I apologize. This is a symbol for royalty. Divine spiritual presence is what this card is symbolizing. Ability to face challenges and overcoming them. Symbol for royalty, dignity, grace, and sense of natural authority. Like, I think how they have their pride, right? And I see like the masculine and then the feminine, and I see how they care for each other, right? And how the masculine, I can't remember everything now about the mating, but there is a highlight of love in this entire reading. So I just feel like this connection of masculine and feminine isn't just about, you know, the masculine and feminine marriage of it. I think there is this higher potentiality where you're going to meet the love of your life. So if you haven't already, you could be connecting them by magnetism, like you're in vibration of love because you love yourself, and you truly, truly do. And it's going to be this divine love versus like instant gratification. So then we have Swan. Swan, grace, love, beauty, grace, majesty, self-worth, mystery, purity, angels. You could be connecting with angels. Journey, transformation, intuition, partnership, fidelity, integrity, creativity. Celtic myth represented represented in Celtic myth the descent of the gods to earth, and I see how there's this consistent pattern of a god being mentioned almost in all of the a few major ones. I mean, I think of Athena and Aphrodite were mentioned. Intuition, partnership, fidelity, integrity. Okay, that's right. So a symbol of spiritual awakening, a symbol of a faithful mate is what the swan, the white swan could be representing. Okay, and then another thing happened today. Right this morning when I was going to get a cup of coffee, this bush was covered in bees, and I just was able to suddenly drop down into the present moment in a way that I can't even explain to any person unless you've had this moment yourself. Like, I'm in line in a drive-through for some iced coffee, and you're all of a sudden, instead of waiting, and you know how you're always waiting for the next person to go or whatever, and then you're like, even when they're not moving, then you start fiddling or whatever. Well, I just suddenly looked over and I got very present with this bush of purple flowers, like these. It was just beautiful purple, like bush of flowers, and it was small. I don't know what the flower was. I hadn't really seen this very much, so I only seen it like two other times, so I can't tell you what the flower was. However, there was these bees around it, and I just felt so present in a way that I couldn't even explain. I still can't explain. So I wrote down B, symbol for dedication and perseverance, symbols for diligence, patience, and the rewards that come from dedication. The bee also represents ability to make honey, which is a symbol. The ability to make honey is a symbol for abundance and divine gifts. So a symbol of divine gifts. Good omen for success is also the bee. And then we have squirrel, always prepared. You are the expert of hard work and hard play. Your cheerful and fun disposition is a blessing to everyone. Don't let life's distractions take you off course. Make a plan for the future, and life will give you all you need. And so we got squirrel. Oh, there's squirrel. Okay. Playful, practical, prepared, problem solver, planner, fun, social, high energy, resourceful, communicator, entertainer. So squirrel knows how to work hard and play hard, which means they embody one of the best energies. Squirrel may be a symbol to manage work and play, friends and rest in a more balanced way. The chatter of a squirrel is a reminder to communicate effectively, or also to open communication that can help resolve a challenge, or to bring resolution to a conversation that is needed. So that could be part of the message. Maybe there's a conversation that you're hesitant about having in some fashion. And I think of how that was the reason why I wrote down chatter is I was hearing like the chattering noises of squirrels in the most weirdest moments during my walks, and I couldn't see where the squirrels were when I would hear them, but I could hear them, which usually I always see them, but I don't hear them. But today all I could do is hear them and not see them. So I felt like that was a symbol for something. So I wrote down what the noise of the squirrel could mean. And that chattering sound is this communicating effectively, open communication to solve something. So we're jumping right into the tarot now, which is we're bringing you into what your present position is. And you got the Lovers, which is relationship, alignment, aligned with the inner divine, love, balance of the masculine and the feminine energy. And I think that is like a huge part of this message, is like I think this is something I always try to use when I'm communicating about things, is we're normally embodying a version of something before we meet with a physical manifestation of it. So you're embodying this self-love, this, embodiment where your masculine and feminine energies are balanced. So this could be whether you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. Like if you're a woman, your masculine side, your get after it attitude, your confidence, all these things, your leadership capabilities, and also that intuitive side, that nurturing side, that caring side of you, all those things, that is in balance. Same with a man, so vice versa. That is in this beautiful harmony and beautiful balance within you. So because of that, if you're not already in a relationship, you have someone that you are going to magnetically bring to you. By embodying that, you are magnetic towards the right person. Crossing you right now is this Hanged Man. And that's why right now in this position right now that you're in, you're just in this embodiment of love, of that embodiment of balance between the masculine and feminine love, and which brings passion and progression towards, you know, creative beginnings through, you know, inspired actions that bring us down paths that are bringing us down paths of higher callings, because you're embodying something that you're enjoying, that it could be something where you're going to make money out of. However, it may not look like you're going to make any money out of it, and then suddenly you do, simply because you're enjoying yourself. And it's a passion. It's not just about the joy. It's like there is this energetic exchange, like how I am right now, where I do truly love doing this and getting to, and it's expanding me in other creative facets that are within me. However, this is a foundation for me because I've had things happen to me in my life that really affected my entire being, and being able to do this assists me re-enter balance in various states in my being, just by doing this on a daily basis. So I get a lot out of every single reading. So the Hangman, waiting, shifting perspective, reflecting to see things from a new perspective. This is the Hangman energy. Moments of pause leading to spiritual insights, taking time to reflect and enjoy the present moment. And I do take notes about things. I do have intuition that comes in. It's just at the same time, and maybe that's the call to this right now. I see this crow, and he's got his tip of his beak on this pentagram. So it's like spirit. It's like protection, right? You're in this you're in this hang position, and it's like self suspension, but it's self reflection. And I feel like that symbol, and I go back to your divine. It's like there's energies around you that are protecting you during this part of your life where you're bringing this love within yourself together, which is bringing all of these things. I feel like it's one gift on top of another. I don't think this is just one thing. I think you might be getting a few new gifts, or because this is like a world, like your world is shifting because you're ending a cycle. You're ending a major cycle in your life, and you're starting a major cycle in your life, is what I feel is happening. But it's auspicious, it's beautiful, it's divinely protected in multiple dimensions of being, is what I feel. You can take how that resonates and just leave what doesn't resonate. That's how I always feel. And then we have the Two of Pentacles. And I just see 33 and then 22. So 30. Don't think of that as it's ascension, is what it is. So the goal, the destiny, is this Two of Pentacles, balance, stability, intricate, important life changes, and achieve the sense of balance, to make the right choice, to have proper balance in the present moment. And I think about what that means, to have balance in the present moment, to actually have clear discernment, emotional discernment, you know, being able to stand up for yourself in an assertive, confident way that keeps you in, it's like the way you the way you meet a situation, right? It's become your goal, or your destiny is this balance. To make the right choice, to have proper balance in the present moment. So you feel like It's like the universe is saying that your destiny is to be able to make the right choices in your life and have freedom to make your choices, is what I think that this is saying about your destiny or your goal, or how you're feeling about this, or how this would be, is your intention is to be internally balanced when you're meeting the outside world, because something in you knows that no matter if it's an unbalanced situation, if you meet the situation balanced, it definitely will not escalate to something far worse that has that potentiality if somebody meets the situation the wrong way, than something that could have been diffused or whatever, like momentary, whatever little moments with people that just don't have the balance. You're able to, be balanced and meet those situations in a way that helps the positive progression of anyone involved. And also the balance of being able to exist in your life and not be fearful or in the survival type mentality. Balance in all aspects of your existence. That's your destiny and then your goal. Let's see. And then we have Page of Pentacles, which is manifestation, solid beginning. Your inner child encouraged you to plant seeds of prosperity, because this is like the distant past. This card represents the distant past. So it's like and it doesn't have to be a long time in the distance, just to give some mind of time, but some time ago, not a ton of time, your intuition, your inner child, that playful space, that I think of how we can get into this like playfulness about something, and that's that inner child. It encourages you to plant seeds of prosperity through your creativity. And what you're working toward is grounded in reality and can grow lasting abundance. So something you're already working on, something you're already planting seeds in, there's this message that it can grow a lasting abundance. Mm-hmm. The recent past, Seven of Wands, defensiveness, assertiveness, in the moment challenges that invited you to be assertive and courageous, building your confidence that you can respond strategically. And that's what I was saying just a moment ago. You're building this inner being to be able to respond to the present moment in the strategic way, but also be present. It's like you're very present with existence because you have balance in your inside. You have that balance, and you have the balance to meet the obstacles that may cross your path in a way that is you don't come up, you don't react, you respond, and you respond in a way that is your insides see. You're very you just had that keen sight, those keen senses, keen sight, very intuition. You're going through a spiritual awakening, so you're feeling energies of all kinds that I won't go into, because that's not what this is. I want to start not staying to the reading. I do my best. Okay. So the sixth card is this Ace of Pentacles, which is new beginnings, abundance, a prosperous new beginning unfolding for you. Oh, and that's another thing that I didn't even mention this time, and I mentioned it in the short, is when I pulled this card initially, and if you would like to check out the short that I uploaded, there is an emoji that is going to match this long form that I matched to my shorts. I always load a short and then I jump into a long form. So it gives the listeners a chance, like, oh, this resonates in some maybe little fashion. And usually that little nudge is right. And if you follow it, you know, it's insight that's for you that will help you on your path moving forward. And what I noticed about this card when I had pulled it was the flower. And what I had thought about it when I had seen it was this energy of something unfolding. It's like this flower that blooms, right? You're blooming. I think of the lotus flower right now. Like it's like your crown chakra, your lotus flower, your consciousness is unfolding. Your life is also unfolding. Your new beginnings are unfolding. That might not be that, but I think of the marriage of the masculine and feminine and being in vibration of a love of your life. So this Ace of Pentacles is your future influence, which is this new beginning of abundance, a prosperous new beginning unfolding for you. But in this case, it has something to do with prosperity. That's why I was saying earlier, I think you're getting multiple new beginnings at the same time. And this is the Ace, so this is the beginning. It's grounded in reality. And it's so grounded in reality that in this future influence, you start to see the beginnings of what it will be, of the greater vision that it is. Okay. And then we have the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords. And I still have my iced coffee from this morning, because I sip it throughout the day to keep me going, because sometimes I don't sleep that much because I got kids too and animals. So we got Queen of Swords, defensiveness, honesty, perspective. You've shown facing the perspective you've shown facing complex situations by formulating a logical response instead of a irrational reaction. So you may have had to defend yourself in situations. And this is more of a perspective, right, card? This is what this card kind of represents, is like a perspective card, where you are now, your perception, your perspective. And that is that when you've needed to defend yourself, you've used honesty, even if it was brutal and it had to come off harsh, but it was not in a way that was, sometimes you have to assert yourself and use conscious detachment and allow yourself to, let someone know in a way that doesn't trigger them. So it's like you're strategically able to do that. You're strategically able to give the right response that diffuses others who would normally be able to just get you, maybe. It's like you've embodied this ability to, whether this is something you've always had or this is something you're just recently coming into, but this is a perspective that you're presently embodying. That's all that there was for that. Oh, and then for the environment, this is like the environment around you, within you, outside of you, all of those things is this full energy. So I think about how this card came out, right? And where it is in this reading. And I really feel what's about to happen is you're really about to embark. It's like something is going to happen and you're going to be starting a new journey on top of a new journey. If that makes any sense. It's like a new beginning that you don't see coming. It's like a new path you don't see coming, or a new Something you don't necessarily see coming, but you sense coming, maybe. New beginning, freedom, an adventure is about to begin. Because I think about where this came out is your environment, and I feel like if this has, because it's a reflection, so it's an adventure. If your insides are reflecting this sudden desire within your environment to start something new when you've already been starting something new, I feel like this is a surprise from the universe of something will come into your reality where your environment changes, and it is like you start a new beginning in a new environment. You could move suddenly, or I see how there's this adventure, a new adventure begins, leap of faith forwards. Tune in its guidance, the Fool, tune in its guidance and heed its message as your own path to expanded consciousness unfolds. And I think about the internal. I kind of brought this in two different directions of how you could be feeling on the inside and how this could potentially be manifesting in your outside environment. So on the outside environment, this could potentially mean you're going to move suddenly. You're going to have the capacity to be able to move suddenly. This isn't going to be a harsh move. I think this is going to be an auspicious move if it's your external. On the internal, you're on your own path. Messages are helping you to follow this path, expanding your consciousness. Your consciousness is going, it's like, I would even start documenting yourself throughout the next however long, so you can really see the progression, because you're in this expanding consciousness moment to moment, and things are gonna like just baby step and unfold. Your inner emotions, and this is like how you're feeling, and this is a Two of Cups. This could be a partnership, because this is your feelings, but I feel like how this is the momentum near the end of the reading, which is this partnership, union. This is also reveling in feeling loved and supported in your life. I feel like your emotions suddenly, or maybe not suddenly, but this is how you're going to be feeling moving into the future. You're feeling loved. And I think about how when we're on a spiritual journey and we're connecting to different things, not necessarily people, but energies, because you sense through your intuition many different things. And the things that you're connecting, your ancestors, your inner being, it's giving you this form of self-love and being this feeling of being supported, because maybe it's like the people around you, maybe that was a problem for you where you never felt supported really, and it was just like you always had to take care of yourself in this way, which led to a spiritual awakening, which led to this blooming of your feminine and masculine energy. And now it's like you feel loved now. You really do. And it's not even, it is so true, and like it's so deep how loved you and supported you feel. And that's why it's coming out in your inner emotions. And it's this like incredible gratitude of feeling truly loved. And you yourself are truly loving. And this could also potentially be of this feeling of falling in love with someone. You could be falling in love with someone. Which, then we have the World, the Ten of Cups. This is the final, the final results moving forward, the things that are coming, the momentum. So we have the World, Ten of Cups, and the Chariot. So it's like cycles. the world, successful completion, or successful competition. I think this is sexual completion. Reaping rewards. Completing the journey of the Fool. Because we saw the Fool, right? We just saw the Fool in your environment. And then this is like that completion of the Fool, which culminates in the World card, completing one phase that will propel you into the next. So you started something and it led to your world changing. It's like something suddenly, something you had done led to your world changing, or something happened, some inspired action happened, and it led to a world changing event that leads to this 10 of Cups also. It's just like, this is like that death and rebirth, but it's like your life changes from one way of being to another way of being that is actually incredibly beautiful. Look how beautiful that is. So happiness, fulfillment, the culmination of emotions, the culmination of emotional fulfillment is the gateway to the next adventure. So it's like you feel so emotionally fulfilled, and you have this path that's also got this momentum of the Chariot. So it's like life is so exciting. I feel like moving into your future, life becomes one giant adventure. It's like the world itself may become your home in some weird way. Like maybe you end up traveling for a living, where it's like you're not really, it's like the whole world becomes your home. And I really feel like that's possible because you got the world and you got this embodiment of happiness. And then you have this momentum, this Chariot. So it's like you could be traveling the world, and it's this embodiment of love because of the people and situations you're surrounding yourself with. Let me just read anything that I might have written down. Completing the journey. Let's see. Well on your way to achieving a big milestone, level of love and success that fills your life with serenity, satisfaction, and gratitude. And the Chariot, inspired action, momentum. So this is the momentum. This is the momentum of all of this world changing. This is maybe a position, a representation of how your energy is going to be. I feel like you could have been maybe more of a, but still, like it was a slow progression into this where your life moves faster. But even if it's moving quicker, that doesn't mean you're not grounded. It means that, you know, it's moving quicker in a way that you're expanding in this love. Because see, this emotional fulfillment, this emotional and life fulfillment, it's just got this quick leveling up energy around it, is what I mean to say. It's like quickly you start leveling up, which just brings you, I feel, maybe more, it could be a potential of moving, like seeing the world. Let's do, before I close, we'll do one more spirit animal, and we'll do we always do one card from the 42 ideals of Ma'at in daily life. Is there one more spirit animal card? We can do moon. We should definitely do moon. So, cheetah. And this is a fast. Again, the last tarot card was the chariot, and then now we have the cheetah. So it's like life is gonna be more fun, and it's gonna be quick. The shift is gonna happen fast and sudden. A decision once made will be followed by unwavering action. A decision once made, the fool, the inspired action. Not over. The camera had cut off on me for a second. So a decision once made will be followed by unwavering action. Okay? And let's just jump right into I'm actually going to do a moon card. Just one, because we're having a full moon right now. And in Sagittarius. And I have been working with the energy of the moon more. I love the planets. And I love Mother Earth. And I love just everything. Anything that's that love embodiment. So we have, what does it say? Everybody who's still here, what does it say? Prosperity lies ahead. New moon in Taurus. So think about that bull. Even if you're not a Taurus, doesn't matter. But what has been happening to this thing? What does it say? Say it again. Prosperity lies ahead. And it's in the new moon, which means I think about what is to come. A path to be revealed. It's like spoiler alert. Okay. All right. Where did I was like, I know they're around here somewhere. We're going to do this Living with a Feather Heart, and I'm sorry, there's this nudge to do something real quick, and I'm just going to do it real quick because I just want to make sure there's nothing that I missed. Well, in the World card, we have the deer and the lion that we've actually talked about in the beginning. This is the Fool right here. I think this is an eagle or a hawk in the corner. I can't really tell. It was just something told me, something hinted to me to look at the tarot cards once quickly, because I was going through and I wasn't really going with the intuition of looking at the cards, and I just wanted to be sure I did that quickly just to see, because there's always more to these cards because they're not always the same as depending on the deck. So you got love and prosperity coming into your life, possibly, because I think about how you're in the vibration of love. So let's just pull this card. And I'm asking for assistance to pick the right card. Okay. I communicate with compassion. I communicate with compassion. So these are like commandments. These are commandments. A little tired. So let's see. I communicate with compassion. $23, so 5. Add the 2 and the 3 and you would get 5. So for those that don't add the way that I do, or the way that not just I do, lots of people read numerology that way. I communicate with compassion. Communication and compassion both share layers of meaning and manifestation. Each has the ability to affect through expression and iteration. Looking at their fusion, we may be reminded of the ancient Egyptian goddess Hathor, who was the personification of love, beauty, music, dance, maternal energies, and joy, and is further embodied as the goddess Aphrodite, who was mentioned earlier for the Greeks, and Venus to the Romans. It was believed that Hathor's heart shone through life, death, transformation, and transfiguration in waking life. She took on different attributes of netters as needed, animals such as the cow or the cat and the cosmos. She was often depicted as the embodiment of the Milky Way. In the life of the underworld, she acted an usher through the afterlife, greeting the dead with refreshments and comfort. Every iteration of the Hathor life force found resonance with tenderness and a type of sympathetic communication that expressed the necessary magic of the moment, as she could feel, sense, think, and embody within a twinkling of time. Compassion as something to actively communicate is a fluid ideal that transforms with each expression and sentiment depending on what metamorphical cards are dealt. In coping with the situation at hand, a reminder of the virtues of compassion finds resonance in the suits of the minor arcana of the tarot, energetic correspondences of the elements of Hathor's heart. I'm going to read some things, and I'm just going to let the compassion, like the suit of cups, which may be filled and drank from, is a feeling of relationship to the matter at hand. Compassion can be in a thought like the suit of swords, which communicates its power through action and discernment. Compassion, like the suit of pentacles, can be a sensation in the way of a hug or an expression of affection where matter is met with mindfulness. Compassion, like the suit of wands, is something that can be intuited, and expressed through the silent holding of space when it is needed. Intuited. Compassion, body language and living language rooted in kindness and a loving nature are the embodiment of the human, and they use an E at the end of it, so it's like humane, embodiment of the human. The life force of a nature applied through empathetic elucidation and a fluency in the great faculties of the senses as the vehicle to affect through affection. Affection being eternally effective in life, death, and all dimensions in between. Think of the vehicle through affection. I almost think of the Merkaba, for some reason. And the chariot is also a representation, I think, of the Merkaba. Okay, the end of that passage. So thank you for all who stayed and listened, and I send you all love, 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 love. And I pray you all have a beautiful life, and thank you for staying this long. Thank you for listening.